What's going on, dudes? County is back here again. So today we got another video. What worries you? Ireland 1968. So this video is hell. It's more than 50 years old, so that's history. These videos are put up on YouTube. They have like millions and millions of views. So never watched these before. I actually live here in Ireland, guys. An Irishman in Ireland. So the most, let's say, qualified to make this video, guys. Alright, so let's see what they have to say, what worries people in Ireland back in the day. Now I'm gonna predict they say something like food shortages, etc., etc. But yeah, guys, what worries me nowadays is basically, what worries me nowadays? No food, not being able to work out, not being able to make YouTube videos, my camera breaking, a bunch of retarded shit. But anyway, let's get into this one, guys. Let's view it.
I don't know why I worry. Even when I try and get some sleep at night, I'm still working. My mind is still going over, and I just
this guy's a workaholic, man.
Feel that I'm not able to rest, that I'm still working in my sleep.
Now, what do you find the most worrying thing about life today?
Well, in my opinion, the biggest worry to a tradesman in Dublin is the thought of a slump and the uncertainty of the building trade.
What?
Some years it's great, and other years it's bad.
We have all sorts of possibly the economic slump at the present moment. It must be worrying everybody.
Yeah,
well, anyone that
economic slump, guys. We definitely worried about that back in 2008. Not too much anymore.
cares. You have people that don't give a
I
damn.
know what worries me, man. Actually, World War III breaking out in Russia, nuking our asses, getting freaking nukes up the freaking rear. You know what I mean?
But personally, I care because I have a house and that here in town, and I would hate to have to emigrate.
There is a feeling of pressure all the time, particularly a pressure of time. In any society that's passing from, let us say, from a rural tradition to an industrialized and urbanized society, you'll find that the calendar, the alarm clock, the telephone, the timetable are beginning to take more and more precedence over the more leisurely procedure of former times.
Do you think that people are worrying more these days?
I guess like he basically foretold the internet, like social media and stuff were the alarm clock, the calendar, the telephone. He said this guy was saying that they would take more of your time away, like social media and stuff would take more of your time away than anything else, than more leisurely activities such as running, walking, swimming with your dog.
A leisurely procedure of former times.
Do you think that people are worrying more these days than they used to?
Well, I suppose they do really, because there are so many things, so many pressures from different points.
There's so many things that I find that has to be done.
That was quick for that, dude. Bunch of racist people in the comments. Black people that are Irish, guys. It's probably in Galway like more ethnically diverse than any country in the world, than any part of the country.
So many things, so many pressures from different points.
There's so many things that I find that has to be done in the day, and I worry if I don't get them done.
The little ones, it's the little problems that create much more worry than the large ones. I don't imagine people worry more about the atomic bomb than they do about what they should do to their neighbors or to their children or for
Dude, this guy's like a philosopher, and he's talking about the atomic bomb.
themselves.
It's just becoming a thing with people. They just want to fuss and want to rush.
The way they worry.
This guy knows what's up, man, rushing around the place. People want to act important, like, oh, you got loads of shit to do. I have like 10 meetings on today. You ain't got shit on today.
Is about the cost of living and all the rush and bustle there is now. And of course, coming up to the time of the budget.
A day's work. I just find that I just haven't got the time.
I have even given thought
Yeah,
to.
I feel like that too, man. The time just goes way too quick. Like, I legit don't have the time in the day to make as many videos as I want, because I want to do a lot of things throughout the day. There's only a certain amount of time in the day, guys, you can do shit, you know what I mean? That's like workaholic's nightmare, man. When I first started this, like, I wanted to get out 15, 20 videos a day, but there's not enough time in the day, guys, to export the videos and do all this. It's just so much time taken on that one project, but too much time, guys, there's not enough effort I can put out to do that, so.
To emigrating.
In my particular business, architecture, for instance,
People are probably more well-spoken back in the day, guys. I think people on this are far more well-spoken than a lot of people I see on YouTube nowadays.
big buildings must be built in a very, very fast time.
At the moment, the building trade is very good, and but we don't know when. Like it could go from go to bad, like, you know. There's nothing certain about it.
Yeah, there's nothing certain. Oh, this guy looks like he's well spoken. Hold on.
What worries you particularly?
Of work, employment.
So, what about money?
Work and employment. Well, that's what worries this man. Work and employment. I mean, dude, honestly, nowadays, like, there's jobs are like ubiquitous in Ireland. You know what I mean? This video is being made 2022, guys. I think it's like the 3rd of May. So we're gonna compare Ireland 1968 to 2022. It's unbelievable, guys. It's like so much work for me anyway. Like sales and marketing, I get offered jobs that was crazy, but you know what I mean. We want to do our own thing. I'm just happy with, you know what I mean, the regular kind of jobs and stuff.
Well, that's another risk, Phil, you know. But if I'm working out a few points a week and I'm all right.
Imagine it has a great bearing on the fact so many people are dying of heart failure now.
Do you think that it...
Oh, it's because we're about heart failure. Saying a lot of people are dying of heart failure. Basically, he's basically talking about the obesity crisis, guys.
People are dying of heart failure now.
Do you think that it worry that these are serious worries, that it actually consciously affects people in their lives?
Well, I suppose you could call them real worries because they're relative, really. I mean, what worries me might not worry you.
I feel that people find that they haven't got enough time, that 24 hours a day isn't enough. I myself,
Straight philosopher, him. Like I said, man, not enough time in the goddamn day.
I'm looking for 8 days a week and 25 hours a day.
Life is geared to speed now.
When you go into town
Drug addicts.
and you go across Westmoreland Street, it's a fight for your life, really, isn't it? It's a challenge.
I myself have to become a teenager to cross the road, and I'm nearly 70.
I think everyone is worried.
Someone getting those sprints on, man.
When you get the top, the respective bosses in each, what would you say, industry, they're worrying.
There's a very handsome young man here, strapping young man. He's giving us explanation of why the bosses are absolutely just, you know what I mean, abusing their power of staff.
I'm nearly 70.
I think everyone is worried. When you get the top, the respective bosses in each, what would you say, industry, they're worrying. So if they're worried, we must worry. If you have an interest in your job.
Perhaps that's the reason why we see so much heart diseases, stomach ulcers, nervous breakdowns and things like that in our time, which our ancestors, our rural ancestors, certainly didn't suffer from.
It certainly does worry the house.
Actually cap, guys. So man didn't know it. The man doesn't know his medical history. So ancestors in Ireland definitely suffer from heart disease. That's how everyone dies, right? It's like heart failure from getting too old. You know, I know we just lived on potatoes back in the day, but still, guys, that's, you know what I mean. It'd be a healthy, more balanced kind of diet, like carnivore diet, we'll say.
Ancestors certainly didn't suffer from.
It certainly does worry the housewife because she'd all the expense and all the outlay and everything is going up.
But that worry has always existed.
I don't worry too much. I expect I'm on my way out.
What are you worried about?
Oh, poor lady, man. I don't worry too much. I expect them on the way out. Out where? Where's she going?
Expect I'm on my way out.
She's young. 70 years old. That's like young as hell.
What are you worried about?
I wouldn't like to say right now, but my exams, I expect.
I don't think there's that much stress in this country compared to in England or in the United States.
Is there any answer to this at
That's a
all?
fact, man. No stress compared to England and the US.
Well, I can't see one at the present moment. I mean, everyone wants to try and do the best by themselves, and it's sort of dog eat dog.
One has to live with it, definitely.
Alright, amazing, guys. So that's basically the difference between what worried people back in 1968, 2022, a massive difference. So hope you guys like that, man. Love you guys all. See you guys in the next video, man. Peace.